It started with a phone call he almost didn't answer. On a cold November evening in Portland, Oregon, James Callahan, a 38-year-old single father of one, was halfway through reheating last night's pizza when his phone buzzed on the counter. Unknown number. For a moment, he considered ignoring it. But something made him pick up. That call would change his life in ways he could never have imagined. James had always considered himself an ordinary man. He worked as a high school history teacher, raised his 7-year-old daughter Lily, and spent weekends fixing up his aging pickup. Life was simple, predictable, and after his divorce 2 years ago, a little lonely. On the other end of the line was a social worker named Maria. She spoke quickly, apologetically. 3 siblings, ages 2, 5, and 8, had been found abandoned in an apartment not far from James' home. Their mother had disappeared. No relatives could be reached. The foster system was beyond capacity, and it was the night before Thanksgiving. "James," she asked, "I know this is sudden, but would you consider taking them in? Just for a few days." It wasn't a small ask, but James didn't hesitate. Bring them over. An hour later, his quiet home erupted with the uncertain energy of 3 scared, wide-eyed children. Ava, the eldest at 8, clutched her siblings' hands like a tiny mother. Ben, 5, refused to speak. And Mia, just 2 years old, carried a tattered stuffed rabbit missing one ear. James didn't know what to do. He set out extra blankets, microwaved some mac and cheese, and found an old box of Lily's toddler toys. At bedtime, Lily, with the effortless empathy only a child can possess, slid her favorite stuffed unicorn into Ava's arms and whispered, "You can have her tonight." That night, James sat on the edge of his bed and felt an ache he hadn't known was possible. Not for himself, but for these 3 little souls. What was meant to be just for a few days stretched into weeks. Their mother never came back. And slowly, something beautiful began to happen. Ben started speaking, first in hesitant whispers to Lily, then full sentences to James. Ava, guarded and serious beyond her years, began to laugh again. And tiny Mia followed James everywhere, calling him Dada by mistake. One snowy Saturday morning in December, James found a crumpled note Ava had hidden in her pillowcase. In shaky, 8-year-old handwriting it read, "Dear God, please don't take us away from here. I love my new dad." James sat on the floor, letter in hand, tears blurring his vision. It was Lily's idea to hang stockings for the new kids at Christmas. They made decorations out of colored paper and cheap glitter glue. There wasn't much money, but James scrimped and saved for small gifts, a soccer ball for Ben, a paint set for Ava, and a new stuffed rabbit for Mia. On Christmas morning, the kids barreled down the stairs, their faces lit with wonder. It wasn't about the presents. It was about being safe, about belonging. Ava handed James a folded card. Inside was a simple message. "You saved us. Can we be your family forever?" In that moment, James knew what he had to do. 6 months later, standing before a family court judge, James officially adopted Ava, Ben, and Mia. He was no longer a single father of one. He was a father of 4. Today, years later, the Callahan household is a joyful, chaotic, beautiful mess. There are school plays, scraped knees, birthday cakes, and Sunday morning pancakes. The old pickup's still running. The house still isn't big enough. But the laughter is loud, and the love, unconditional. James often reflects on the night of that phone call, how answering it reshaped not just his life, but his heart. Because sometimes, the family you choose is the family you were meant to have. And sometimes, a single act of kindness can echo through generations.